Hi, class. Welcome to week 3 for Critical Thinking in Science and Technology. I'm your instructor, Kevin Smith. Just wanted to do a little review for the weekly activities for this week for you. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to post them online in the frequently asked questions section right here. Or feel free to bring them in class. Being this is week 3, the hybrid class, we do meet this Wednesday on the 6 p.m. in the assigned location. Okay. You should have the module posted up for active critical thinking in STEM for week 3. What I'd like for you to always do first, of course, is go to the read section. If you go to the read section, you will find all the instructions this week. I'm still going to make it somewhat simple on you because I'm more so focused about you understanding the critical thinking applications, terminology, etc. So we're still going to explore that a little bit more this week, more so than what we did last week. As you read the instructions, you'll see we'll also have a think section, a seek section, a do activity, and of course, by the end of the week on Friday, the reflection section will open up. This particular week for the think and the seek, I believe I've assigned you each individual questions. I want you to answer only the questions that are assigned to you first, and then go back and give feedback on your peers' responses on their respective answers. This way you make sure that you're exploring and understanding terminology and active usage, because that's going to come back beginning next week to assist you. Also, I thought I'd do something a little fun. Critical thinking is oftentimes about problem solving. So the do activity is a little bit about some problem solving. The key thing I want to explain to you here, I'm not concerned so much about the answer, more so about how you solve the problem. That's very important for this activity. So there's two parts to the activity. The first part, which will take you a little bit long time, and then the second part, which may trick you up a little bit. So don't be fooled. And of course, at the end of the week on Friday after 5, you'll open up the reflection section, and you can answer that any time over the weekend. Going through, you'll see what the weekly objectives are, which is primarily about learning some terminology and being able to apply it. Here are the assigned readings for this week. I'd like for you to check out the websites, the links. Just check out some information about what critical thinking is, some background, some history. And in particular, there's a section on inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. I'm going to make that optional for you this week, but I think it's still a good read. If you look at the specific activities, you have the reading assignment. You have understanding the meaning of the critical thinking questions that are going to be very applicable to your work in future weeks when it comes to reading the articles. It's worth 10 points. It's due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Then creating the glossary of critical thinking terms, again, due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. That's also worth 10 points. The do is the activity or exercise that's kind of doing for fun on problem solving. It's talking a little bit about inductive and deductive reasoning, as well as some general critical thinking and problem solving skills. It is also due this coming Saturday at 11:59 a.m., or in essence noon. It's worth 10 points. And then Friday evening, that's when the reflection would open up, and then that's due next Sunday, a week from today, by midnight, 11:59 p.m. It's worth 5 points for a total of 35 points. This week's activity should take you about 2 to 4 hours max, depending on how you type, how much you get involved into answering, etc., etc., etc. So I will leave the details to you going back. Let's take a look at the think exercise right quick. In short, you get to read all the instructions. Your overall objective is to understand how important the critical thinking questions are that you're going to be using for the article review on a regular basis. I only want you to, now this is important. With this subject, do not answer the questions. Typically, when you read the articles in the textbook, you're going to have to answer these questions as it pertains to the article. I'm not assigning you any article to read. I want you to understand the meaning of the questions. That's all. So when you go down, this will make much more sense if you read some of the questions. So in essence, in a sentence, summarize the author's position. List 3 facts the author uses to support their position. And that's assigned to Karen in this particular case. So Karen, I would want you to answer, not pertaining to no particular article that you selected or that I selected, just what does this question mean? What is this question asking you to do? And everyone has that typical assignment, okay? So I'm looking forward to your responses on that. The seek assignment is also very similar. I assigned everyone a particular term to answer, to do research on, to explain, give examples, however you want to do it. So here the instructions are for that. And again, follow the instructions in order to post your answer. Here's an example of how we'll look to see your post. In your subject line, if you're assigned to the facts and opinion definition by Kevin, then that's what I want to see in the subject line. And then, of course, you would go ahead and answer it. In the do assignment, well, I think that's a little fun. I did want to lighten up just a little bit, so I wasn't going to make it too hard this week. So I'm going to have you all become a little bit of a critical thinking detective. I have an example here. Some one quick example, 12 steps, and in essence, you have to figure out each person's father and the country they visited. So that'll make more sense once you read the entirety. But I'm not so much interested solely in the answer, though the answers are always interesting. I'm more so interested in how you solved this problem. And I want you to share that information in your response. And everyone answers it kind of differently, so I think that'll be a little bit interesting once you see some of the final answers. There's also a part two to this, another inductive reasoning exercise. So you have to do both. That's what I'm going to be looking for in your answer, both the assignment 1 and the assignment 2. And then last but not least, you have the reflection, which opens up on Friday. And just some typical reflection questions. I want you to think about what you did this week, and that'll come up on Friday. It's due next Sunday. So there you have it. That's all you have to do for week 3, module 3. If I see you in class this week, we'll talk a little bit about some of the activities from last week and some of the questions as it pertains to this week and next week. And if I see you online, I look forward to some of your interesting dialogue that you have with each other and myself. Again, if you have a relevant question to this week's activities as it pertains to the extra credit, simply go to the extra credit, frequently asked questions, and you can post a question. And I'll make sure I answer. If not, some of your classmates can also answer it as well. And depending on what kind of question it is, you may get some extra points. That's it. I hope you have a great week. I'm Kevin Smith. I'll see you online at Critical Thinking in Science and Technology. Thanks.